In this lecture, we will cover how C language was created and go over the different versions of C standards and understand differences between them. You will understand what versions of C are available and what standards mean and which one we will be using in this course. So you can skip this lecture if you have programmed before, or keep watching if you're interested to just learn a bit of history about C. The origin of C. Dennis Ritchie developed C between 69 and 73 at the AT&T Bell Labs to rewrite most of the Unix kernel. ANSI C was standardized by the American National Standards Institute back in 1989, also referred to as C89, also known as Standard C. So whenever somebody talks about Standard C, you have to know that we're talking about the C that was standardized back in 1989, C89. It was adopted later by the ISO standard, referred to as C90. If you say C89, C90, it's kind of the same, which is a cross-platform and supported by most modern compilers. Other versions and other standards of C that came out later. In 1995, the C95 was another standard, added minor amendments to the C90. Support for international character sets was added back in the C95. In the 1999, the C99 was also standardized. It added several new features like inlining functions, several new data types, also added support for single line comments the same way in C++. This is an example of a single line comment. Even if some compilers may not choose to be a C99 compliant, they actually would support this as an extension. In 2011, it was also known as C1X. There was another ISO referred to as C11. It replaces the C99. The main reason for it was to standardize some of the features that started showing up in modern compilers. Okay, so in this slide, we want to talk about how Visual Studio handles the C language. All versions of Visual C and Visual Studio supported only C89/C90. Visual Studio 2012 was the first to add support for C99 as well. And newer versions of Visual Studio will keep adding more and more improvements, and C99 was added to Visual Studio 2012, and then in 2013 improved that significantly by adding additional support. Visual Studio 2015, there were further improvements added to the Visual Studio compiler. So again, in this course, we will be focusing mainly on C89, C19 standard, which is referred to as Standard C. As a summary for what we discussed, C89, C90 is supported by most modern compilers. We will be focusing on the feature set of this standard in this course. Most compilers support this standard. The Visual Studio C++ compiler will support everything we will teach in this course. That's why I recommend using the Visual C compiler. In the next lecture, we will go over how to install and configure Visual Studio 2015 so that you're ready to start writing some C code. See you then.